Pat Huntoon here from Technique Junkies, and today we're going to be making a cute little sunflower card using the Technique Junkies Shimmering Bliss as the background, and we're going to be watercoloring on it. We're going to be starting this card using two of the Technique Junkies Shimmering Bliss colors. We're going to be using Lapis Lazuli and Dolphin Cove, and these two colors are monochromatic, so we're going to have a monochromatic blue background. So to start, I'm working on my Tim Holtz glass mat, which I actually love, and a piece of watercolor paper. And all I'm going to do is shake these side to side. You always want to shake the Technique Junkies Shimmering Bliss side to side because they all have mica in them. And see all the mica on the bottom? You want to move that mica around. If you shake them up and down, what happens is you push that mica up into the nozzle, and you don't want to do that. So you want to shake them side to side. You're just going to spray. Now, nice and close. You want to be nice and close to your watercolor paper, because that's how you get color intensity. So you want to spray nice and close. So nice and close, and then the bottom, I'm going to be nice and close. As you see the Lapis Lazuli, I sprayed the Dolphin Cove first, and the Lapis Lazuli is this beautiful, rich, deep color. I love this color. So what I'm going to do is a little dry with my heat tool. So that's all nice and dry. I just did it for 10-15 seconds with the heat tool. Maybe 30 seconds, and I'm just going to remove that paper towel, and now we're going to stamp, and I'm going to use my Misty to stamp the single sunflower. I'm using my mini Misty to stamp the single sunflower. Okay, so I've completed stamping that, so that's nice and stamped on there, and I could work in my Misty, so if I wanted to over stamp it again later I could, but I'm going to actually pull it out of there for the sake of this tutorial. I'm going to be using Peerless watercolors, so I'm using some water and a paintbrush. I'm just going to go through here, and I'm going to get this a little wet and use my paper towel and maybe lift off just a little of that color. Since I already used the heat tool on it, it's not really going to come off the way it would if I didn't use the heat tool. If I just allowed this to air dry, these colors would lift. Now these are a dye-based ink that is inside my color bottles, the Shimmering Bliss. It's not a permanent ink, it's a dye-based ink, which allows us to do a lot of watercolory techniques, a lot of really cool water techniques. So I'm just going to lift that off using my paper towel. And just kind of lighten underneath there, so when I do use my watercolors, I'm not competing quite as much with the blue background. So I'm just going to do that real lightly over the petals. I'm just going to give it a little bit of a wash. Using Peerless watercolors. I haven't pulled out my Peerless in a while. I no longer sell these. I sold these a few years ago, but these are Peerless watercolors. You could use any transparent watercolors that you like. I just happen to like my Peerless, and they're within arm's reach here, so we're going to start with that. And I'm going to take my my paintbrush, and put it right on the color I want, and then put a little color on this little acetate sheet I have here. Getting a little low on the acre there. And then I'm just going to paint right where I want it. And you can see, just going to add some water here and there. You can see that they're transparent. The fun thing about this is that the mica that's underneath does show through there. So you do get some mica coming through. And we're going to work on the leaves first because the greens are right here. And we're just going to paint this. I'm going to put this into fast time while I'm painting, and then before we go to the next step, I will bring us right back down to speed, and we can talk about what I'm going to do next. Okay, so I did a very simple little wash on this, just a little watercolor here. And I'm going to take this to a next step because I think this needs something else in the background other than just that color. So what I'm going to be doing is using a Colorful Life stencil. It's called Hexagons. So you can see here that it's thicker. You're going to get more color here than you are here. It's got a faded look, fade in, fade out. I'm just going to put this over the top and kind of just get most of the card. I know I'm going to put a topper over it. And what I'm using this time is the Shimmering Bliss Gold Topper. What the toppers do is they don't have color in them, only mica. So when you put them over something, you get the mica without any color changing what you're doing. And now I'm shaking this side to side, just like I did the other ones. And I think I'm going to take that paper towel I used before, fold it in half. I'm just going to put it over so my cleanup isn't as much. I'm just going to shake side to side until I no longer have any mica there. And then I'm going to give that a spray. I'm going to hold it kind of firmly, and I am staying away a little bit from the flower. I'm not putting it directly over the sunflower, just kind of putting it around the sunflower. I could put it over the sunflower, and then I'm going to lift that off. Okay, and you can see, now normally what I would do is if I had another piece of paper here, I would take this and press it down on there. Kind of move that color upside down in there. Oh, that's cool. Look at that. You see that? How cool that is? It almost looks like sequin waste. It's really neat. So now I have a second piece there. Okay, so I'm just going to wipe this down quick and move these out of my way. Let's hit this real quick with the heat tool, and I'll show you. Did you notice how the sunflower, the color in the sunflower really popped when I used the heat tool on it? It's really quite cool. It came out quite far. So that's the end of our tutorial today. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. If you did, please give us a thumbs up on YouTube and subscribe to Future Technique Junkie YouTube channel. Thank you for watching. See you next time.